Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books, from captivating narratives to insightful guides. Join us for discussions and summaries, sharing our thoughts and takeaways. Let's get reading. Today we're diving deep into the world of memory techniques with Dominic O'Brien's You Can Have an Amazing Memory.
Oh, a classic.
It is, and you've shared some fascinating notes on memory techniques.
Yeah.
We're excited to break them down with you. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
O'Brien's journey is so interesting.
It is.
It really challenges the idea that you're either born with a good memory or you're not.
Yeah, it's so true.
He wasn't a natural at all.
No.
In fact, quite the opposite.
Yeah, he even mentions being labeled dyslexic.
As a student.
As a student struggling to focus.
The kind of kid who daydreams more than takes notes.
Exactly. Right. And that's what makes his transformation from, dreamy Dom to 8-time world memory champion so inspiring.
It really is. Makes you wonder what hidden potential we all have just waiting to be unlocked.
Absolutely.
So how did he make that leap from, struggling student to memory champion?
Yeah.
Is there a turning point?
He describes this pivotal moment witnessing Cretan Carvello memorizing a deck of cards.
Wow.
And it just ignited a spark. It showed him that it's possible.
Yeah.
That memory training is a thing.
Okay.
So O'Brien realized that having an amazing memory isn't about inherent ability. It's about learning the right techniques.
So anyone can improve their memory.
That's what he says.
That's encouraging. What kind of techniques are we talking about here?
Well, the foundation of his system lies in the power of association.
Okay.
It's about tapping into our brain's natural ability to connect things.
Yeah.
So instead of just rote memorization, he creates these vivid, multisensory images and stories to link pieces of information together.
So instead of trying to remember a dry fact, you create a mental picture that brings it to life.
Precisely. He gives the example of remembering a football that smells like oranges. Or a yellow elephant with pink spots.
I like that one.
Yeah.
The more senses you engage,
Yeah.
sight, smell, touch, even taste, the stronger the memory association.
Precisely.
Okay, I can see how that would make things more memorable.
Yeah.
But how do you actually apply that to, say, remembering a shopping list or a sequence of events?
So that's where techniques like the link method and the journey method come in.
Okay.
The link method is all about weaving a story to connect individual items in a list.
Okay.
Let's say you need to remember milk and keys.
Milk and keys.
Yeah, you could picture pouring milk into your keyhole.
That's,
a bizarre image.
It is bizarre.
But it makes it stick.
That's interesting. It seems counterintuitive.
It does.
That making something stranger helps you remember it better.
Well, that's exactly the point, right?
Okay.
The more outlandish and unusual the connection, the more your brain takes notice.
Okay.
And the easier it is to recall.
Okay, so that's for remembering lists. What about the journey method?
Yeah.
How does that work?
The journey method leverages our strong spatial memory.
Okay.
You associate information with specific locations along a familiar route.
Okay.
Like your commute or a walk through your house.
Okay.
And each landmark triggers the memory attached to it.
So it's like creating a mental map.
Yes.
Where each stop holds a piece of information.
Yes. And because we're naturally good at remembering places and navigating our environment, recalling information becomes almost effortless.
Okay.
O'Brien's first memory journey was a walk through his village.
Okay.
Each location served as a peg for information.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how these techniques could be really helpful in everyday life.
Absolutely.
Not just for memory competitions.
Yeah.
But what if you have to remember something more abstract, like a long number or a sequence of digits?
That's where the Dominic system comes in.
Okay, what's that?
It involves assigning letter codes to numbers.
Okay.
Like 1 is A, 2 is B, and so on. And then you use those letters to create initials that represent people.
So instead of trying to remember the number 15, I could think of AE, which could stand for Albert Einstein.
Exactly.
Right.
And to make it even more memorable, you give Albert Einstein a specific action, like riding a unicycle while solving a physics equation.
Okay, I'm starting to get this.
Yeah.
You're basically turning abstract numbers into memorable characters and stories.
Right.
It's not about just memorizing the number itself, but creating a vivid image that represents it.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway.
Yeah.
It's not about being born a genius. It's about understanding how your memory works.
Yeah.
And using these techniques to make information stick.
This is really eye-opening.
It is.
I'm starting to see how these techniques could change how we learn and remember things.
Absolutely.
So are there any other key concepts from the book we should discuss before moving on?
Welcome back to our deep dive into Dominic O'Brien's You Can Have an Amazing Memory.
It's been great so far.
It's clear from your notes that you're already starting to grasp how these techniques can be applied.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how it's not just about memorizing facts, but changing the way you think and learn.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is.
It is. O'Brien dismantles the myth that memory is like a fixed capacity. He shows us it's something we can actively train and expand, like a muscle.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't just talk about it.
No.
He gives us the tools to actually do it.
He does. He does.
Last time we explored techniques like the link method, journey method,
Right.
Dominic system.
Exactly.
All very cool.
Yeah, and these methods work so well because they engage both the logical and imaginative sides of our brains. But let's dive into some specific examples from the book
Okay.
to really illustrate their power.
I'm ready. I love a good aha moment.
Well, get ready for this.
Okay.
O'Brien walks us through how he used the journey method to memorize an entire deck of cards in record time.
Hold on. He actually explains the process in detail.
He does.
Wow.
He takes us through his thought process, the challenges, the breakthroughs.
Okay.
He emphasizes choosing a familiar route
Okay.
with distinct stages, like a walk through his childhood neighborhood.
Right. You wouldn't want to get lost in your own memory palette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need a solid foundation.
Yeah.
And then he takes those Dominic system characters, the memorable figures we talked about,
Right.
and assigns them to specific cards.
So instead of trying to remember the Queen of Hearts, he'd picture, like, Marilyn Monroe
Right.
striking a pose at his old schoolyard,
You got it.
maybe wearing a crown of hearts or something.
You got it. And by incorporating those vivid details,
Yeah.
engaging multiple senses, the memory becomes even stronger.
Okay, but how does he remember the order of the cards?
Right. That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the sequential nature of the journey method shines.
Okay.
As he walks his mental route, he encounters those characters in the exact order they appear in the deck.
So the journey is like a mental clothesline, holding each card character in place.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It really is. And because our brains are wired for spatial awareness, recalling the sequence becomes almost second nature.
This is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
But what happens when he has to memorize multiple decks?
Yeah, good question.
Does he just keep creating longer and longer journeys?
He reveals that he has a collection of 70 journeys, each with 52 distinct stages that he uses in rotation.
70 journeys. That's incredible.
That is.
But how does he even keep them all straight in his head?
It's a testament to years of practice, really, and a fascinating glimpse into the training regimen of memory champions. He's honed these journeys over time, ensuring each location is unique and easily recalled.
So it's not just about having a lot of journeys, but about having, like, high-quality ones.
Exactly. And he also highlights the importance of review, calling it the rule of 5.
Okay.
Where he reviews information at least 5 times to solidify it.
So even memory champions need to repeat things to make them stick.
They do. But it's strategic repetition,
Okay.
spaced out over time, which research shows is more effective for long-term retention. This reinforces the idea that anyone can improve their memory. It's not just a gift for the elite few.
That's encouraging.
It is.
I want to go back to how O'Brien's techniques engage both sides of the brain.
Yeah.
We talked about the left brain for logic and the right brain for imagination.
Right.
Can you give us a specific example of how this harmony plays out?
Sure, let's take the journey method again.
Okay.
The left brain is at work when you establish the route, the order, the sequence of locations.
So I'm using logic to organize the framework of my memory palace.
Precisely. But then the right brain takes over as you create those vivid images to attach to each location.
Like picturing a giant banana bursting through the roof of my childhood home.
Yeah.
To remember to buy bananas.
Exactly. And the more senses you engage, the stronger the imprint.
Makes sense.
It's like the right brain is painting a mural on the logical structure built by the left brain.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah.
No wonder those dry rote memorization techniques never worked for me.
Right.
I'm only engaging half my brain power.
You got it. Now, one of the things I love about O'Brien's book is that he emphasizes how these techniques aren't just for memory competition,
Right.
but have practical, everyday applications.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, how can we use these to, say, improve our social skills?
Hmm.
I'm terrible with names.
Oh, yeah.
I meet someone, and 2 seconds later, their name is gone.
It's a common problem.
It is.
But O'Brien has a solution.
Okay, what is it?
He suggests finding a distinctive feature on the person's face
Okay.
and linking it to their name.
So if someone has big glasses and their name is Harry,
Yeah.
I can imagine Harry Potter peering through their lenses.
That's it. The more unusual or humorous the image, the more likely you are to remember it. It's like creating a mental caricature.
Yeah, I like it.
And the same principle can be applied to remembering appointments,
Mm.
facts for presentations, really anything.
It's like having a mental toolbox.
Yeah.
Filled with these techniques for any situation.
It is.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
He talks about these amazing feats of memory, but does he ever address the challenges or downsides?
Right.
It can't all be rainbows and unicorns, right?
You're right to be skeptical, while O'Brien focuses on the positive aspects.
Yeah.
He does acknowledge potential challenges.
So,
Finding the right technique for you isn't always easy, and it takes dedication and consistent practice.
yeah, nothing comes easy.
Results aren't instant.
Right, it's not like taking a magic pill.
Exactly. And he cautions against relying solely on memory techniques. They should be tools to enhance learning and understanding, not replacements for them.
Okay, so it's about finding a balance.
Yeah.
And not falling for any quick fix promises.
Right. He encourages readers to approach memory training with a critical mind, questioning assumptions, seeking out evidence-based methods.
Makes sense.
It's about taking ownership of your cognitive health,
Yeah.
making informed decisions about your learning journey.
That's such an important reminder,
It is.
especially with all the information overload we face today.
Yeah.
But with these techniques, it feels like we can actually take control
Right.
rather than feeling overwhelmed.
That's the power of what O'Brien offers.
It is.
And that brings us to another fascinating concept he explores.
Okay.
The impact of lifestyle choices on our memory.
So it's not just about mental exercises, but also about how we treat our brains on a physical level.
Exactly. O'Brien emphasizes the importance of diet, exercise,
Okay.
sleep, and even stress management.
Okay, so it's holistic.
He argues that memory isn't just about techniques, but about nurturing your brain with the right fuel and environment.
So what we eat and how much we sleep can directly affect our memory.
It can. He talks about how regular exercise boosts blood flow to the brain, which enhances cognitive function.
So hitting the gym can actually make you smarter.
It certainly can help.
That's a great motivator.
It is.
Okay.
And he also stresses the importance of a balanced diet, rich in brain-boosting nutrients.
So long junk food.
Exactly.
Low fruits, veggies, and omega-3s.
Exactly. And then there's sleep.
Yeah, sleep is very important.
O'Brien suggests aiming for at least 8 hours a night
Yeah.
to allow for optimal memory consolidation. That's when our brains process and store information.
It's starting to feel like taking care of our memory is like tending a garden.
Oh, I love that analogy.
We need to provide the right conditions for it to flourish.
I love that analogy. And just like a garden,
Yeah.
neglecting one element can impact the whole.
Right.
O'Brien also talks about the detrimental effects of stress on memory.
Yeah, because chronic stress can impair cognitive function. Right.
It can.
Makes sense.
And he even shares some of his own strategies for managing stress, including meditation and spending time in nature.
So it's not just about what we put into our bodies, but also how we manage our mental and emotional well-being.
It's all interconnected.
Yeah.
And as we continue exploring O'Brien's book, you'll see how he brings all these elements together into a holistic approach to memory mastery.
This is really making me rethink my whole approach to learning and memory.
Yeah,
It's more than just remembering facts. It's about cultivating a healthy and agile mind.
exactly. And speaking of agility,
Yeah.
we haven't even touched on O'Brien's approach to memorizing abstract images,
Okay.
which is a whole other fascinating aspect of his system.
Okay, now that sounds like a real challenge.
It is.
How does he even approach that?
Well, he explains that when faced with an abstract image,
Yeah.
he searches for any visual association that pops into his mind.
So if he sees a squiggly line,
Yeah,
he might imagine it as a snake or a roller coaster.
exactly. And then he uses those associations to craft a story or a scene,
Okay.
connecting each image in a sequence.
So it's like creating a narrative out of abstract shapes.
Exactly.
Wow, that takes creativity to a whole new level.
It does.
But how does he remember the order of the images?
He brings back our trusty journey method,
Okay.
placing those abstract stories along a familiar route. It's amazing how he weaves all these techniques together,
Wow.
creating this versatile system for memorizing practically anything.
This is making me realize how much potential we have locked away in our brains
We do.
just waiting to be tapped.
Yeah.
It's incredibly inspiring.
It is. And what's fascinating is that he argues this ability to memorize abstract images isn't just for competitions.
Right.
It strengthens neural pathways crucial for pattern recognition and creative problem solving.
So it's like mental cross-training for our brains
Exactly.
with benefits that extend far beyond just memory.
Precisely. And these skills are more valuable than ever in our increasingly complex world.
I'm starting to understand why he's a world champion.
Yeah.
It's not just about memorization. It's about developing a more adaptable and agile mind.
Right?
But does he ever talk about what it's actually like to compete at that level?
He does.
Wow.
He shares some incredible stories about the World Memory Championships.
Okay, I bet those are intense. What's it like?
He describes the pressure, the strategies,
Yeah.
the exhilarating triumphs,
Yeah.
even the occasional setbacks.
But-
It's not just about memorizing the information,
Yeah.
but managing your time, energy, and nerves.
So it's a mental marathon, not just a sprint.
Exactly. And he even reveals the psychological strategies he's developed to stay focused and composed under pressure.
I'm guessing those strategies could be helpful for anyone,
Absolutely.
even if you're not competing on a world stage.
Yeah.
What are some of them?
He discusses the power of visualization, positive self-talk, even deep breathing techniques.
Mm.
These techniques can help us stay calm and perform at our best in any high-pressure situation.
So training your memory is also about training your mind to be resilient and adaptable.
You got it. And as we explore this further, you'll see how these mental strategies can be applied to any area of life where you need to perform under pressure. Whether it's a presentation at work, a challenging conversation,
Right.
or simply navigating the complexities of daily life.
This is truly fascinating.
It is.
It's like O'Brien is giving us a backstage pass to the world of memory champions,
Yes.
revealing the secrets behind their incredible abilities.
He is. And as we continue our deep dive, we'll uncover even more of those secrets,
Great.
empowering you to develop your own extraordinary memory.
This has been such an eye-opening exploration so far.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, from specific techniques to lifestyle choices,
Right.
and even the psychology of memory champions.
Yeah.
But I have to ask,
Okay.
before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
does O'Brien ever talk about the future of memory training?
He does. And it's incredibly inspiring.
Okay, now that's something I want to hear more about.
He believes that memory training isn't just about individual empowerment.
It has the potential to transform society as a whole.
Okay, that's a big idea.
It is.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Where does he start with this?
Well, he believes that integrating memory training into education would be a game changer.
So not just teaching facts, but teaching kids how to learn and remember more effectively.
Exactly. Imagine a classroom where students are excited to learn historical dates or scientific formulas because they can visualize them and connect them to their own experiences.
It wouldn't be rote memorization anymore. It'd be active and engaging.
Exactly.
Right.
And it would equip them with lifelong skills, not just for academics, but for any field they pursue.
It makes me think about my own struggles with memorization in school. If I'd known these techniques back then,
Right.
who knows what I could have achieved.
That's the power of what O'Brien is advocating for. He's not just talking about improving test scores, but about cultivating a generation of confident, capable learners.
So a ripple effect that extends far beyond the classroom. He envisions a society where people can communicate more effectively, remember details from conversations, and truly listen to each other because they're not struggling to recall basic information.
That would transform relationships, workplaces, even political discourse.
Imagine a world with less miscommunication and more empathy,
Yeah,
all stemming from a foundation of strong memory skills.
it's a beautiful vision.
It is.
But he also talks about the implications for aging, right?
He does.
Okay.
He challenges the widespread belief that memory decline is an inevitable part of getting older.
That's refreshing to hear.
It is.
So many people just accept that their memory will fade as they age.
O'Brien argues that with the right tools and mindset,
Yeah?
we can maintain cognitive vitality throughout our lives.
So instead of fearing memory loss,
Yeah.
we can actively work to prevent it.
Yes. It's about empowering ourselves to age gracefully,
I like that.
with sharp minds and a continued zest for learning.
It's like reclaiming control over a part of ourselves that we often feel powerless over.
Exactly. And that's what makes O'Brien's work so inspiring.
It is.
He's not just offering memory techniques.
Right.
He's offering a new way of thinking about our potential, regardless of age.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
And it makes me think about the responsibility we have to share this knowledge with others.
He echoes that sentiment in his book.
Okay.
He sees memory training as not just a personal pursuit,
Right.
but a collective endeavor that can uplift entire communities.
So it's not just about individual gain,
No.
but about contributing to a more informed, engaged,
Yeah.
and connected society.
Precisely.
This is so much bigger than just memorizing facts.
It is.
It's about unlocking our cognitive potential
Right.
and using it to shape a better future.
Precisely. And O'Brien's book is a call to action.
It is.
It urges us to embrace memory training, not just for personal gain, but for the collective good.
It's a message of hope and empowerment.
It is.
It shows us that we have the power to create a world where memory isn't a limitation, but a catalyst for progress.
And with that, we've reached the end of part 2 of our deep dive into You Can Have an Amazing Memory.
Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
It does.
We've explored some truly fascinating territory, from the specifics of memory techniques to the broader societal implications.
We have.
It's been a truly transformative journey,
It has.
changing how I view both memory and my own potential.
Good.
I can't wait to see what else we discover in the final part of our exploration.
I'm excited to continue this journey with you.
Me too.
Until then, keep practicing those techniques and experiencing the incredible power of your own mind.
Welcome back to the Bookworm Duo and the final part of our deep dive into Dominic O'Brien's You Can Have an Amazing Memory. It's been quite a journey so far.
It really has. We've explored the specific techniques, the lifestyle choices that impact memory, even the psychological strategies of memory champions.
And last time, we even touched on the idea of memory training as a tool for societal change.
Yes, and that's what I want to focus on today. O'Brien's vision for how memory techniques could transform not just individuals, but entire communities, even the world.
Okay, that's a big idea. I'm intrigued. Where does he start with this?
Well, he believes that integrating memory training into education would be a game changer.
So not just teaching facts, but teaching kids how to learn and remember more effectively.
Exactly. Imagine a classroom where students are excited to learn historical dates or scientific formulas because they can visualize them and connect them to their own experiences.
It wouldn't be rote memorization anymore. It would be active and engaging.
And it would equip them with lifelong skills, not just for academics, but for any field they pursue.
It makes me think about my own struggles with memorization in school. If I'd known these techniques back then, who knows what I could have achieved.
That's the power of what O'Brien is advocating for. He's not just talking about improving test scores, but about cultivating a generation of confident, capable learners.
So a ripple effect that extends far beyond the classroom.
Precisely. He envisions a society where people can communicate more effectively, remember details from conversations, and truly listen to each other because they're not struggling to recall basic information.
That would transform relationships, workplaces, even political discourse.
Imagine a world with less miscommunication and more empathy, all stemming from a foundation of strong memory skills.
It's a beautiful vision. But he also talks about the implications for aging, right?
He does. He challenges the widespread belief that memory decline is an inevitable part of getting older.
That's refreshing to hear. So many people just accept that their memory will fade as they age.
O'Brien argues that with the right tools and mindset, we can maintain cognitive vitality throughout our lives.
So instead of fearing memory loss, we can actively work to prevent it.
Yes. It's about empowering ourselves to age gracefully, with sharp minds and a continued zest for learning.
It's like reclaiming control over a part of ourselves that we often feel powerless over.
Exactly. And that's what makes O'Brien's work so inspiring. He's not just offering memory techniques, he's offering a new way of thinking about our potential, regardless of age.
A powerful message.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about the responsibility we have to share this knowledge with others.
He echoes that sentiment in his book. He sees memory training as not just a personal pursuit, but a collective endeavor that can uplift entire communities.
So it's not just about individual gain, but about contributing to a more informed, engaged, and connected society.
Precisely. And as we wrap up our deep dive into You Can Have an Amazing Memory, I hope you're feeling not only inspired, but also empowered to take action.
I know I am. This book has been a revelation, and I can't wait to put these techniques into practice and see how they transform my life.
Remember, memory mastery isn't a destination, it's a journey. And with dedication and a willingness to learn, you can unlock the extraordinary potential of your own mind.
And maybe even contribute to creating a world where memory is celebrated as a source of strength, connection, and progress.
Beautifully put. That's the essence of O'Brien's message. Now go out there and amaze yourself with what your mind can achieve.
That's all for this episode of the Bookworm Duo. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And don't forget to leave a review and share this episode with a friend.